Henry and the Buccaneer Bunnies by Carolyn Crimi. Illustrated by John Manders. Read by Mr. Bragg. Cruising the seven seas on a crickety old ship called the Salty Carrot sailed a wild and rowdy band of Buccaneer Bunnies. They were bad bunnies, all right. When pirates on other ships saw their long, floppy ears and their fluffy tails, they shook with fear. The captain of the Salty Carrot was Barnacle Blackear, the baddest bunny brute of all time. Blackear was proud of his wooden paw, his golden earrings, and his mean reputation. What he was not proud of was his son, Henry. Instead of performing his proper pirating duties, Henry was more interested in reading the books the Buccaneers stole from other ships. "Shout, shiver me timbers!" Blackear ordered. "I'd rather finish this chapter," said Henry. "Make the prisoner walk the plank." "Can't I just read about it?" asked Henry. "Find yourself a parrot for your shoulder." "First I'll need to read up on parrot care," said Henry. "Buccaneer bunnies don't need books," said Blackear. "Toss 'em overboard," he yelled to the other bunnies. "No, wait," cried Henry. "Let me just finish them first." "Avast," cried Blackear. "Swab the decks until you come to your senses." And so, Henry swabbed the decks, day after day, while reading some of his favorite books, like Robinson Crusoe and 30 Days to Longer Ears. "I'll bet you can't learn to do this from a book," Jean Lahaire said while sharpening his hook. Henry sighed and turned another page. "Aye, and you'll never find booty like this in a book," Calico Jackrabbit told him, holding up his stolen loot. Henry shrugged and turned the page. "And you can't do this with a book in your paw," Bartholomew Bunny said while sanding his peg leg. Henry just turned another page. As much as he loved his books, Henry was a lonely Buccaneer Bunny, if ever there was one. Then, one morning, he looked up at the red sky and wiggled his pink little nose. He heard the parrots squawk and saw fish jumping out of the water. "If my books on meteorology are correct, those signs mean a big storm is headed this way," he thought. Henry tried telling Jean Lahaire about the upcoming storm. "Excuse me, but I believe a storm is coming," Henry said. But Jean was too busy polishing his pieces of 8. "Go back to your books, Henry." He tried telling Calico Jackrabbit. "I'm pretty sure a storm is on its way," Henry said. But Calico Jack was too busy admiring his tattoo of a cabbage. "Don't bother me now, Henry." Finally, Henry cried, "Batten down the hatches! A huge storm is coming!" "What do you know about storms?" Blackear demanded. "Get back to your swabbing the deck before I make shark bait out of those books of yours." Henry did as he was told, but he kept his little pink eyes on the skies. And when he saw the rats abandoning ship, he started packing up his books in empty treasure chests. The storm started small. A few low grumbles of thunder, a spike of lightning, then suddenly a crashing, bashing, thrashing wildcat of a hurricane broke loose. It shook the ship, sufferin' sea dogs. It mangled the masts. Great blimey bilges! It slashed the sails, damaged the deck, and ripped up the rickety old Salty Carrot. All that was left floating on the choppy waters were a bunch of soggy bunnies and Henry's treasure chests filled with books. When the storm finally calmed down, Blackear, Henry, and the rest of the Buccaneers paddled to the nearest island. "We're ruined!" wailed Blackear. "No ships, no pieces of 8, no gems!" He sat in the sand and blubbered like a lily-livered landlubber. But Henry got right to work. The first thing he did was build a 2-story hut out of palm fronds and coconuts. "How did you learn how to do that?" asked Blackear. "I read it in 101 Things to Do with Palm Fronds and Coconuts," replied Henry. Next, he built a fire and cooked up a tasty seaweed stew. "Blimey," said the hungry bunnies. "Where did you learn that?" "I found the recipe in Quick and Easy Meals for Marooned Pirates." Then he made them all fetching garments from bits and pieces he had salvaged from the shipwreck. "We look like gentlemen bunnies, we do." "What swank swashbucklers we are." "Arr, and it's all from them landlubberin' books," said Blackear, shaking his head. Henry taught Blackear and the Buccaneer Bunnies all kinds of useful things, like how to plant carrots, make the best sand castles, and build boats out of palm fronds. Soon, they had built a new ship, which they sailed to the library at the nearby Easter Islands every summer. Here, the bunnies spent many happy hours slurping seaweed stew and reading books. "Aye, Buccaneer Bunnies will always need books," said Blackear. Henry just smiled and turned the page.